Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the Sun, Sextile, or Trine Saturn in Synastry. Now, first off, the basic character, which is the Sun, and what the other person may concentrate on, which is Saturn, can be in harmony and be compatible. The Saturn person can often find that time to work for that Sun person if necessary, especially if you have this in a supervisor subordinate role situation where one person is a supervisor and the other person is employee of that person is a subordinate role. Um, this could be a good aspect as far as the employee and the supervisor connection may go. And the Sun person can easily find that drive and motivation to help the Saturn person in matters connected with limitations and restrictions. And say if somebody has, that person, the Saturn person has their Saturn and Taurus in the 12th house as an example. It might be issues, with secluded habits, being reclusive. But Saturn in the 12th house can be it, but Saturn and Taurus can be about monetary limitations, issues with self-worth, and being in the 12th house can be tied into secret sorrows as an example. Some person can be beneficial to the Saturn person. Now, another thing is that to really the Saturn person may often have enough discipline to not bruise the Sun person's ego. Because remember, Saturn is about restraint and discipline, and this is a situation where the Saturn person can be respectful of the Sun person and not do anything to damage his or her ego, or at least will try not to do so, I would say. And the two, may often, stay connected, for a long duration. This could be a very sustained and protracted connection. Remember, you have, the Saturn, you know, is about longevity. And the thing about this is it can be, a connection where you have, even if these people are facing a strong adversity, tribulation, this is a connection that it can stay together through that, through the trials and tribulations. This could be good in terms of like a marriage, actually, even though you don't really think of the, these two planets, not, as far as relationships go, it's not, they're not really connected with that, but, this still could be good for sustained connection, and that wouldn't exclude like a marriage, significant other scenarios. So anyway, the um the thing is, these people may also do well in collaborating, on creative projects. You have the Sun, person, which can bring their creativity. The Saturn person is about work, structure, discipline, being consistent. And these are people that, the Saturn person would be more, often more willing than not to help the Sun person, in terms of if there's something, creative, that he or she wants to do. If the Sun is an Aquarius, the creativity, maybe connecting, with astrology, computers, electronics. If the Sun is in Scorpio, it can be associated with the occult, which can include astrology. It might be, could even be something creative in terms of like locksmithing, making, certain, designs with keys. Is, I just throwing that out arbitrarily. It may be something creative with a lock design. As some examples, and you have, as far, again, as far as this connection goes, um, this is a person, that, I mean, this connection, again, the Sun person, because, the Sun, again, is about creativity. They may easily, the Sun person may readily find creative ideas to promote. It could be Saturn person, the Saturn person's business, if applicable. And the Saturn person, maybe, the business itself that the Saturn person has his or her own business, if applicable, can be beneficial to the Sun person's life in general. Um, it can be an aspect of a relation, again, that has duration, has longevity and durability. The Sun person, may readily take, action, to assist the Sun person, and whether it could be in business situation or matters connected with responsibilities, work, limitations, restrictions, or what have you. Now, the thing about it is, and I stated this in my earlier videos about, not, isolating, any single one aspect and making, an analysis of a person astrologically speaking on it, or, that's just an aspect of planetary placement, what have you, and make an analysis of it of the person astrologically speaking, because the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, not just one. And this applies to synastry as well, because in synastry charts you have, often have a plethora of aspects, and one, synastry aspect doesn't make or break a connection, and this has no, this is no exception either. This is a good aspect as far as again, longevity and durability of the connection, but let's say it could be offset by some adverse aspects. Now, let's say, for example, some two people have the Sun sextile or trine Saturn in synastry, but let's say that they have something like the Sun, an adverse aspect to Uranus, or even the ascendant, like square or opposition Uranus and synastry. There may be, more, freedom issue with the Uranus person, and it could be a little more of a chance for some separation at some point, especially due to the Uranus person may have some great need for freedom and independence. So you have to, you have to look at the whole, picture when you're delineating what, whether it's a natal chart or in this case a synastry chart. But by itself, this synastry aspect again can be very auspicious, for like business and accomplishing things. The Sun is about the drive and motivation, vitality and creative energy. It's about action, and Saturn is connected again with work, even laborious work, and the career, in business, I'd say as well. So you have the connection. As far as a business connection, this could be very, propitious and favorable, I would say. And the thing about this too is that when you look at, this, remember that the Sun again is connected, the basic character, of the person, and the Saturn, is about, our concentration. And the Saturn person may be able to focus and concentrate on the good qualities of the true self, of the basic character, which is the Sun. I mean, in most cases, the person will have a different ascendant than their Sun sign. The Sun, of course, is connecting with our astrological masculine facade. The Sun is the true inner self. And I would say too that the person could bring out their true self often with the Saturn person if they're in a business, situation together, and it may come out more, easily. It might be easier expression of that with that person as opposed to many other instances. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.